Hey everybody, namaste. This is Oshunlade and I am recording my day 12 video. It's actually day 13 of the 40-day prosperity invocation, which is being facilitated by Kamara and myself, the founders of Wombmyn. But yesterday, even though it came to me what I wanted to do a video about for day 12, my body was like, you need to go to bed. So I listened, and that's what I did. But I want to stay true to my intention, which is to show up and express something as it relates to what I'm experiencing each day. It's impossible, obviously, unless I was doing like a reality show or something. It's impossible for me to like express all the things that are going on. But I definitely want to at least show up and share one or two things every day, because it's very healing for me. And what I notice is that as I show up and I share, then it blesses other people. And so, isn't that what it's all about? So anyway, so my day 12 thought was that I would share with you a very powerful process that I became aware of several years ago, called the work of Byron Katie. And you can find out more information about the work at thework.com. I wanted to do a quick overview about how it works, tell you where to go to get free downloads, but also to let you know that this is a process that I use very frequently. I love to coordinate and facilitate inquiry circles within the context of other spiritual healing and ancestral celebratory work that I do, as well as my spiritual coaching that I do. I also incorporate the work and other energy healing modalities in what I do. So I just wanted to give you those two things. And again, this is something you can do alone by yourself, because I'm going to show you where to get the worksheets. But if you want to be in communion with others and or with me, just give me a call. I'm sorry, let me give you my email address: divinemojowomman at gmail.com. So that's divine, D-I-V-I-N-E, mojo, M-O-J-O, woman, at gmail.com, and I will post that information. But back to the work. The work, the best way to describe it is that it is a written meditation. It's a written meditation, but it's also the purpose of the written meditation is to question your thoughts. And the thoughts that we're questioning primarily are the stressful thoughts, the thoughts that are giving us angst, the thoughts that are giving us ill will, the thoughts that are the stories that are causing us to feel out of sorts, okay? And so what happens is, when you go to thework.com, you will find a place on there at the bottom of the site, and there's a link that says the work. And when you open that link, it's going to show you how to download free worksheets. And there's several types of worksheets. I printed out a few here just so I can list them. There's a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, a One Belief at a Time worksheet. There's a guide to help you know how to facilitate. There's even a little yellow card template. And what that is, when you do the work and you question your thoughts, you always do the same thing. It's very much a process and a tool that stays the same. The answers, how it shows up, what expresses itself is always different, but the process is always about asking the same 4 questions and doing something that's called a turnaround. And so what I'm thinking about doing is maybe at some point, I'm not sure, I'll do another video that's kind of like a companion to this video right here, that talks about that walks you through the process of actually doing the work. Like, I would give you a chance to go and download these worksheets, and then I could ask the questions, and you could just have a video there with you sometime to walk you through that. But one of the things that I think is really interesting is that when you see this, you're going to see that you have the opportunity to really just write down everything. And on that Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, that always feels really interesting because it's really a good way to get you started. A lot of times people want to pretend that they don't have anything to say about anybody else. Oh, it's really just me, and they don't want to go through the process of sharing that information. But when you really think about it, Byron Katie says that really what's going on is we're always judging our neighbor anyway. So it's just time to get real. So if you're ready, willing, and able to just get real about whatever stressful thoughts you may be experiencing, doing the work is a good way to do that. And then again, like I said before, what happens is once you begin to write down those stressful thoughts, then you go through the process of the 4 questions with the 3 turnarounds. And then, okay. So I wanted to also, on that note, say another way that I think that we sometimes try to skirt around the issues is by saying that we don't have stressful thoughts. I mean, we're walking around, we're having illnesses, we're angry, we're not feeling good, we're frustrated, or we're snapping at people, but maybe we are not really fully understanding that we are focusing on stressful thoughts. And so one of the phrases that I like to use to tell people, to remind people of that is a phrase I like to use. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Phrase I like to use, which is shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay, so if the phrase stressful thought doesn't ring a bell for you, if you have a shoulda, a woulda, a coulda, then you're having a stressful thought. That means that you're not in alignment and loving what is. You're not present and knowing that things are showing up exactly as they are meant to show up based on the situation and the timing. So, in other words, a shoulda is if you think so-and-so should have done something different, or this situation should have been different, or you should have been different, that's a stressful thought. Or I coulda, or he coulda, if only she coulda, that's another stressful thought. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh, if only I woulda. Oh, if only he woulda. Only if he woulda. And I say that because one time a friend of mine, we were talking about doing work, and one time she called and she was having an issue with her mate, and she was like, and this, and this, and then he did this, and then he did that, and then this would happen, and then just on and on and on, this, that. And then I said, oh wow, it seems like since you like to do the work, we should put those stressful thoughts on paper. And her response was, but I'm not really feeling stressed. I don't feel any stress. And I was like, wow, okay, wow, that's really interesting. So that's one of the things. That's when I was just like, okay, no, it's the shoulda, woulda, coulda thing. It's not like, are you like about to go to emergency because you're having a heart attack. It's not that it doesn't have to be that level of stress. And then on top of that, sometimes we're so used to being caught up in our judgments that we don't even realize that it's a stressful thought. Anything that's going opposite to our highest good, anything that's going opposite to our truth, anything that is not even allowing us to see the truth about the other people around us, that's a stressful thought. So I just wanted to share that in case, you had that as some kind of barrier to entry as it relates to doing the work, or even if you're just mildly curious about doing the work, just contact me and I'll talk to you about it. And then, the second thing I wanted to say too is that one of the things I found is that people have a tendency to be afraid of doing processes and practices like the work, kind of like how they're afraid of forgiveness, because sometimes we have this confusion about how being spiritual, how being peaceful, how being loving and compassionate makes you a punk or something like that. I don't know what that's about, but one of the things that I like to let people know is that when you have a major spiritual shift around a stressful thought, it doesn't change necessarily your choices. You may still make the same decision to walk out that same door. The only difference is you're walking out the door now with clarity, with sanity, with love, and even compassion for the other person. Whereas another choice could be to hold on to the anger, to hold on to the judgment, to hold on to the insanity, walk out the door, still make that same choice, and then still have stuff to work on. I almost said something else. Still have stuff to work on. And now, you might make the choice subconsciously to work on that with the same type of person coming up in the future. So one of the things I just, as I'm just talking about the work and just kind of trying to give you a little bit of information, you can go and YouTube Byron Katie and see how the work works, and go to her website and see how the work works. But I wanted to give you a couple of thoughts, the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and that there's power in love and compassion, and it's a lot more powerful, and it's a lot more it will take you places where you want to go. It doesn't make you weak. That's my point. And so in doing this process where you are choosing to let go of the past, choosing to let go of stories, choosing to let go of anger, choosing to let go of judgments towards your neighbor, choosing to be in a different space as it relates to the person who has done things to you, choosing to shift from that empowers you. It empowers you. At least that's been my experience, and that's been the experience of everyone else that I've encountered who has done these and similar processes. So that's my talk for today. Go check out Byron Katie. She has a blog at byronkatie.com, and then she has a website at the work. I think I said that probably like 10 times, but that's it. That's what I was supposed to say, and I said it. Thank you. Bye-bye.